Hey everybody, Dave here at Ground Zero with your weekly update on what's new on your local comic book store's shelves. So let's get to rolling. We'll start with DC. Now, you'll remember a few weeks back, Marvel premiered Wolverine Black, White, and Blood. Well, DC looks at that and says, hold my beer everybody, Batman can do it with only two colors. So we get Batman Black and White, the first issue of that featuring a lot of great artists, all interpreting Batman in only two colors. And I've got some inside information that says if this sells as well as DC thinks it's going to, they will finally release the much anticipated Batman Black, which is black art, black text on black pages. And you'll buy it because it's Batman. But first you got to buy this one, Batman Black and White. Also, if you're watching this outside of Texas, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel or what have you, Superman Endless Winter. We here in Texas just find the whole concept of endless winter hilarious because here winter is like 3 days, so it can seem endless. Also, finally from DC, now, if you're thinking, gosh, my comics just aren't dark enough, please, can we make it darker? DC hears you and complies with Tales from the Dark Multiverse. That's as opposed to their normal multiverse, which is all bright and sunshiny. So Tales from the Dark Multiverse takes familiar stories and makes them even darker. In this case, it's Flashpoint. So there you go, dark comics for dark people. Over at Marvel, the S.W.O.R.D now has finished up, so it's time for King of Black to take over the shelves, and it does. The new issue of Venom is just exactly that, because this whole storyline is centered around Venom, and I don't have to say much about it because everybody has been chomping at the bit for this one, and it's here. So with S.W.O.R.D's over, what's next, people ask? Well, what's next is just S.W.O.R.D. That is the book that takes over. Now, it's actually not S.W.O.R.D because you'll notice the little periods after each letter. I guess that makes actually S.W.O.R.D. And I'm sorry, I don't know what that stands for, but I like to think the W stands for Wombat. So don't tell me any different, because if Wombat doesn't make you want to buy this book, I can't help you. Okay, over in with all the independent books. Now, I mentioned from time to time second issues because everybody loves issue number ones. But if you have a number one and the book's any good, you got to have a number two. Well, we get several really good series with their second issue this week. First was Origins, a pick that I really liked from a few weeks ago. Second issue of that hits the stands today. Also, Mighty Morphin number 2. That Power Rangers have hit the point now where you just don't even have to say Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin is enough, and the second issue is here. Finally, actually one that I really liked last time. I loved the first issue, Donny Cates' new series Crossover. It's wild, it's a little demented, and in this issue we have the death of Brian K. Vaughan. So that alone ought to be worth something. So second issue of that hits the stands. Not a number one, but something that I'm actually real excited about is the prelude they're doing to the upcoming Sandman Lock of Key crossover. Obviously, Sandman is an immortal classic. I really, really love what they did with Lock and Key, so I'm very anxious to see what they do with this one. And you get your first taste in this prelude issue. Finally, the second printing of Last Ronin number 1 hits the stands a week late. We shouldn't have been surprised that it shipped late, but there it is. And if you didn't get a chance to read this book, you just want to read it, you don't want to pay the high eBay prices for the first printing of the first issue, this is definitely the way to go. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's a neat concept. I think you'll like it. Also, now you may be saying, but Dave, what comic book is most likely to get turned into a movie? That's what I'm really wanting to be interested in. Well, my pick for that is Homesick Pilots, which is described in solicitation as Power Rangers meets The Shining. A movie exec is already breaking his finger on the phone dialing up the creators, but you can get to it first because it's actually on the shelves right now, or at least when we open. Two more things to mention, just finally, although there's lots more stuff. One is Super Mario Manga Mania. If you're looking for a gift for somebody and you've just run out of ideas, everybody loves Mario. This is a bunch of wild, fun, wacky stories straight from Japan. So actually a really good thing, and everybody would love to see this in their stocking. And finally, what you can get me for Christmas would be Shazam, the 7 Magic Lands. This is Jeff Johns' take on the Captain Marvel Shazam character. After the movie, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot good. So you actually don't have to get it for me for Christmas. Get it for yourself because it was actually really good. Or somebody else that's a book lover. This is definitely one to probably pick up. So as I said, lots of good new things this week. New issue of Spider-Man, new issue of Red Sonja, Wonder Woman, all sorts of cool stuff. So be sure and make a trek to your local store, wherever that local store may be. And guys, let me once again implore you, it's wintertime. You've heard all the warnings. Everybody, please be safe. Keep wearing those masks. Keep washing those hands. And honestly, if you can avoid gathering for the holidays, do. If you absolutely must gather, do it outside. This is Texas. You can gather outside in Texas. Don't do it in the morning when it's 30 degrees. Wait until the afternoon when it's 78. Yay, Texas. And as always, we love you. Be safe. And always remember, it's not about having what you want. It is about wanting what you have. Guys, we will see you in a couple hours when we open. And wherever you are, make today the best day you possibly can. Have a great one.